Hello and welcome back to Adventures of Me, and today we're going to be continuing our No More Credits One Life Challenge. We are currently still adventuring in Skyrim, which is good because I want to continue this game for as long as I can. Although I have to admit, this is a post-recording because for some reason the microphone did not work when I was doing my recording. I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure if the plug was all the way in or something. I tested the microphone and it's still working, so it's not the microphone being broken and it's not the actual connection. So I'm not sure what happened during all this recording, but for some reason I've had to do a post commentary on it. Anyway, we're going to be continuing our miscellaneous quests and just exploring different areas around Skyrim in this episode. And first off, we were going to look to see if we could find somewhere marked on the map where the red guard woman was for that quest, but I couldn't actually see her anywhere, so we decided to look up to the other side and head off to the western side of the map, and we'll head down towards Rockestead and all that, and then head on our way up to Solitude later on. So that's kind of where we decided we would go. We put a marker on that fort out that way, and then we thought we would head off after clearing away all the current quests. So out this way, we thought we would just go along and fight any monsters that we come across, find any gold that might be lying around. As you can see, there's some wolves here. Because the idea is that we want to get enough gold that we can buy our own house over in Whiterun. So that's the sort of main goal at the moment, that we want to go buy a house so we can store our things in it, so like the books and different things like that, and then we'll move to the next town and so on and so forth, see how far we can make it before we die as well. As I'm thinking, if I do die, I'll just continue this as a separate series, just because I'm enjoying it. It is fun. I'm just trying to work out all the different things I want to do. There's so many games I want to play and make different series out of, but this could be one that I could do on a regular basis, because it's actually so much fun. Although I will have to fix up the audio for future times. Anyway, we're heading out to this little rock area out here, just trying to see what was around, if there were any monsters or people around, and we found this skeleton just out in the middle of nowhere. And I was very confused as to what it was doing there. I'd never come across it before, where there's just a skeleton standing there doing absolutely nothing, and it's got like this little cloak on with its sword and everything. And we're just trying to actually align our bow and arrow up to it. And looking around here, we just checked out the skeleton to see if it had any significant items on it, which it didn't. And then after just kind of looking around this place a little bit, I actually kind of worked out where we were. And if you look at the ground here, it looks like there's just this stone next to some rock, and there's actually another one that we're standing on just back there. It's actually like a little gravesite by the looks of things. It's I'm not sure if it's significant for a quest later on or something, but there's a shovel there, so that shows you that there was some graves dug there. And we're just seeing if we could actually interact with that in any way possible, which I don't think we can, or at least at this time we cannot. So that's something that might come back later on in like a side mission somewhere, but I'm not too sure about that. And heading on over here, I could see this little figure in the distance that I wanted to go check out as I was going through. And over to the right here, you can see that there's actually a person here.
Hello there, fellow traveler. One itinerant minstrel and wandering wastrel at your service. Ah, well, after a little incident with a roguish lad and the daughter of a prominent thane, well, let's just say, best not. Afraid not. But if you're serious about sharpening that tongue, you might try the Bard's College in Solitude. Some may find their inspiration tucked away in tomes, or by carousing in the cities, but I find it here, in the vast expanses of Skyrim. Observing and capturing the epic struggle for Skyrim, when brothers clash with bitter blades, surely there is a song to be found. The best tales are those of adventure. Who could truly write such a tale without first experiencing such? For a generous fellow traveler. But of course, what would you like to hear? Ysmir's blessing on you.
Okay, so
This one's a favorite.
pretty much we're just looking at him
Legend we
thinking,
all know and love.
I have no idea what this guy's about, but he's
Our
a
hero,
bard
there's a
from
warrior's
Solitude, and we
heart.
want to eventually go and have a look at the Bard's College. And then I thought we'll try pickpocketing for no apparent reason, just because we could. Because I want to be like that kind of character that doesn't abide by the law, but
Never
still
should have come.
feels like they should help out in certain situations. So like on the road we're gonna pickpocket, but when there's someone in need we might, you know, step aside and help them. Like that's the kind of character I'm going for. So like a dark and mysterious person when they're traveling, but then deep down they really do just care about everything. And we go ahead and get our great sword out because we want to start using that a little bit more. Because the kind of character I want to be is not really an archer, I've decided. Because I want to be like just this big, strong warrior soldier person. So the great sword just works perfectly for that. So yeah, we gonna focus a little bit more on that rather than the archery. Although I still do find it a little bit hard to kind of survive when you're using a greatsword and that when you're stuck with all these different people and creatures like attacking you, and all you've got is just this sword. Because I'm not going to use magic as much, or the magic here as much, only because that will make the game a little bit easier. And we are wanting some sort of challenge involved, so we're going to look more at the alchemy and making healing potions and using healing potions to heal up instead of using all the other ones. Now I got a bit worried here and thinking that the mammoths and the giants were going to attack me because they didn't look too happy. And also, upon watching this video back, I noticed that there was a Nern root there, and I was talking about Nern root earlier on and how I wanted to collect some. So that was kind of disappointing. I didn't see it there when I first ran through, so we're going to have to revisit that one later on, if I remember. I should take a note of that somewhere. Anyway, we're going to head out this way to the cave, because I thought while we're going through, we'll kind of add different locations to our map, just so we can fast travel everywhere, and there will be all these different places that we'll be able to visit. I thought that would be kind of a good way to keep our adventure going, like just adding all these different places. We can go there, we can adventure, then we might get a quest so we can go back there and do something later on. And we found Broken Fang Cave. Now this place looked a little bit creepy with all the blood and skulls just spattered around everywhere. And while we're waiting for our little companion to follow us up, and there's a little cart
There's
there.
a cave here. Perfect hideout for bandits, or worse.
That's the first time I've heard like a companion say something like that when you've just been waiting around. So here we go into this really creepy cave, which
Get ready. Trouble ahead.
I could not work out, and there's some skeletons around. And it's like, what was going on in here? I was really creeped out by just how quiet it was, and I couldn't really see much as well. So did make it a little bit kind of eerie to go through. Anyway, we're just going to go straight into the combat and take out the skeletons when I completely missed there. Just because, well, they're not much of a threat, those skeletons there. And we're just trying to look around to see what else there was that we could pick up. And there wasn't really much, to be honest. It was just a few kind of useless items here and there. They didn't really amount to much in this section of the cave. And I was kind of just like standing here thinking, oh, it's somewhat like an occult kind of business going on here. Like they have all these empty wine bottles and bloody rags just lying around, and then there's all like the graves, the skeletons and all that. So I was like really creeped out with what was going on, trying to work it out. And there's a hand on the ground back there. And I took that off and then decided no, I wanted it there so I could actually see what was going on. And then coming down through here, we find some vampires. So, got a bit of combat going on here. We're going to level up, but I noticed that they were really strong and took my health right down. So we quickly jumped on some of the potions here while our little follower was taking them out as much as possible for us. We use a potion of health there and then minor healing. And we do need to make some more of those later on. We'll buy some because we are running out. Finding them is probably going to be the best way to do it. And then we'll take out the master vampire here. There we are. So that's taken out all of the different people there. So we'll take the garnet, the gold, the arrows, and that's it from that vampire, which is the ash pile on the ground. From the master vampire, we'll take the amethyst, the gold, the vampire dust, and leave it at that. And then I think there was the one last one here. We picked up a steel sword. We'll pick up the gold, the stamina potion, the vampire dust. We don't want the black robes because we're not really going to be that kind of character. Pick up the potions there, and any of the ingredients. We'll read the Wolf Queen, and we'll take that into our inventory because, like I was saying once before, I do want to collect all of the different books and kind of make my own little library on a bookshelf in our house that we get in the future. The Oblivion Crisis, we'll take that one. See, I've got all these books in my inventory, but I haven't actually read through a lot of them. I've just picked them up. And right here, we just wanted to fiddle around and see if we could make anything with the items that we've got. Only because I don't actually know many alchemy recipes for this. So we're just going to try and make some different potions and try and increase our alchemy skill, which wasn't really doing much. I wasn't actually leveling us up at all. And in this one we made a potion of cure disease, which is really cool. So we now know that we can make that with certain ingredients that we've got. And then these two here made a potion of restore health, which will come in handy down the track. So we need to just kind of find some more ingredients that we're able to use in the alchemy. And then up here there are some leather strips which we'll take because we want to work on our blacksmithery. And then we just were looking around a little bit to see if there were any other items that would come in handy from this little cave in here. And we're going to take the human heart, which is sitting there, which is a little bit creepy. And we accidentally picked up the platter there. I wasn't intending to do that. We picked up the apple. And then I was just going through and picking up any books that I could, because, like I was saying, I wanted to collect them all. The only issue with picking up all the books and not having a place to store them, such as a house, is that they each weigh about 1. So they kind of actually do weigh a lot when you put them all together, considering how many I've picked up so far. This probably adds at least 50 to our weight limit there. Going through, I've got all the books here again that we can pick up or read, because I was pretty sure we had most of those ones there. And we're then just going through and seeing what other items we can take for alchemy, because we want to be able to use them. It was a very dark section of the cave as well. Again, picking up the books here. Some of them just kind of repeat. Take the vampire dust because we can use that, and the frost salts coming handy in alchemy later on. And then we'll take some of the soul gems here because we will also use this table here to enchant some of our items if we can. We'll take the steel sword of embers. And I was thinking about enchanting things, but I needed to learn some enchantments first, which I didn't have many, or still don't really have many, even later on down the track. Yeah, yeah, so we got none at the moment that we could actually put on here. So what we want to do is look at what we can disenchant. We don't want to disenchant the Axe of Whiterun. We do want to keep that, and our bow for the moment. So we get the embers there, and are we going to do this? The Iron Hand Gauntlets. Yeah, we'll do that. I couldn't remember what I was doing there. But that increases our enchanting, and we level up as well. So the kind of thing was, I was unsure of what item I wanted to use as my main weapon there, because I want to use a greatsword, but you know, I don't want to take the heaviest if I've got one that does the same amount of damage. All those kind of things, trying to factor it in. So we're going to increase our health here, just because that will come in handy down the track. And then we are going to look at archery for a second there, because we can now do some of these other ability streams, and we're going to do the Eagle Eye, which means you can zoom in while you're in, like when you're when you're using the bow and arrow, you can zoom in to see an enemy, and it kind of also slows down a little bit for you to help you with your aim, which will come in handy because we'll be able to kind of line up our shots a little bit better. Alright, so now that we're finished here, we're going to head back over towards the area that we were originally intending to go to, and I was just picking up some flowers along the way so I could try to make some different potions later on down the track as well. As you can see, I was just picking up anything that I could see, some mushrooms and different flowers and things like that. And at one point I do start to try and collect bugs as well. Okay, so as we're heading on down this way, rather than heading straight to the fort, I noticed that little tower thing just ahead, and I thought that might be a better place to go. Add it to the map. It looks like some sort of shrine or something. That would be pretty cool. But first off, we have to come and kill these mud crabs if we can. And I wasn't sure if this giant mud crab was actually a creature, if it was just like kind of like a rock in the background sort of thing, which it turns out it isn't actually alive. It is just like a rock. So that was alright. And we'll just take out those. We increase our heavy armor and our light armor, which is awesome, mind you. It is always good to level up your different armors like that, because that means you can take more of a hit later on down the track. We'll pick up the lavender there as well. And then heading back over here, I did see a mud crab across from us there, so I thought we'd go and kill that one as well. Might level up our two-handed weapons, which it started attacking us. They actually can get really strong, those mud crabs, surprisingly. You wouldn't expect it just from looking at them, but they can pack quite a punch. Anyway, heading over to this shrine up here. I'm not actually sure what it is, but it just looked cool. So let's read it when it pops up on the map. There you go. Gudurka's monument, whatever that means. And we were just going to pick up those items because I don't really know if it has any significance. If not, we can come back and explore it later on, maybe in some sort of quest. We don't know at the moment, so that will be happening later on, I guess. There's so many things to do in this game. That's why I absolutely love it. And I want to get future plans. I want to buy a PS4 because I haven't got a PS4 or Xbox One, and I'm more of a Sony fan. So the plan is either buying a PS4 and getting the Elder Scrolls Online, the Tamriel edition, or buying a desktop PC once I move out into my new house, and getting it on the computer. I would probably prefer the PlayStation 4 just because I can set up the recording easier in a more comfortable environment too. But then again, the computer, I do want to get one to use for video editing and a few things like that. But both of them, it's just I don't have the money to go and do that at this point in life, as I've mentioned many times in my video. I'm in my last year of uni, so getting through that with the part-time jobs just to kind of, I suppose, live. But hopefully towards, you know, the end of this year, I'll be able to get a full-time job, and then I'd have to work all about arranging different
Have you given my idea any more thought? You said you'd let me know
schedules for
yesterday,
YouTube and all that,
obviously
but
didn't
that'll
happen.
be down the track.
Oh,
We'll just listen to this
no.
conversation.
Yes, we'd make more money, but I don't like the idea of you travelling alone out there with a war and talk of dragons.
Come on now, we discussed that. I wouldn't be travelling all of Skyrim. It'd just be to Whiterun and back, that's it.
Tomorrow. I'll let you know tomorrow.
Okay, so pretty much they're just
You talked to
discussing
Reldiv
about their
yet?
farm and selling
Seems
things
like
off
a
at
lot to
Whiterun.
me.
Did you see those guards? Get out of line and you'll have them to deal with.
She's actually a really annoying
Do I
character, to
detect
be
a bit of
honest. I
jealousy in
don't
your
care much
tone?
for what she actually has
I
to
would
say.
hardly blame you. What calling could be more noble than this? I see in your eyes that you think I jest. I assure you I
She's
don't.
very arrogant too.
I am proud, and rightfully so, of the work we do here.
Anyway, like I was saying,
Working
hopefully
the
I'll have a
soil with
full-time
your
job
hands, seeing your
later
seeds
on
take root and
down
grow,
the track this
tending a
year,
herd. There is a joy in honest
which
labor you won't
will
find
make it a lot
elsewhere.
easier to kind of occasionally
In Whiterun,
buy
mostly. Ennis handles the business arrangements.
either new
But I
technology
know
for
that
the
he has a
house
few
or
purchasers who give us a fair price.
games and that I'll
Ennis
be able
prides
to
himself
record
on
for
his shrewd
YouTube,
business
and
schemes.
products to open for
For my
opening
part,
adventures
I'm
on
far
Sunday.
happier
Although
working
I
with
have
cattle and
pre-recorded
crops than with people.
27 episodes, or not 27,
Honest
after
pay for
recording my
honest
27th
work.
episode of Opening Adventures, and I've got another package
Honest
yet
pay
to
for honest
unbox, which I have shoved somewhere. I don't even know where I put it.
Then.
Over on a table just over there, in my room.
You
I've got it sitting there ready to record. I just
I'll
haven't
visit Whiterun
bothered
from
yet
time to
actually
time.
opening it,
Mostly
so
to make
that will
deals.
be happening down the track. Pretty much I've just got all those videos and I'm just uploading them to YouTube and scheduling them so I can I don't have to worry about it later on. It's just already up there and it will just release for you guys to see once it's there, once the time comes. They're usually about midday on a Sunday that I've got it set up for opening adventures, so just check that out when it comes along.
Wait, I know.
And this guy's actually noticed us because
That's
we
no
have a
mistake.
bounty in
You're a
Whiterun for
wanted
killing
man,
that
and it's time to pay for your crimes.
bard out there. So we're gonna use the We're the Jarl's thing
Oh, forgive me, Thane. I didn't realize it
card
was
there
you.
to try and
We'll look the
save
other way
ourselves.
this time. But even the Jarl's influence has its limits. Be more careful.
Anyway, so hopefully I'll be able to get some sort of... I'm thinking the computer would be more beneficial to start off with rather than the PS4, and the PS4 can be down the track later on. But after I get all that sorted, because I want to get a desktop computer for video editing, it would be a lot better than my MacBook. Yeah, the MacBook, it's as good as it is, it just heats up a lot, and I don't
setting up to farm,
feel safe
the
using
right
it sometimes when it gets that hot, because it has a lot that goes on it.
Have you met Rorik? He owns these lands, and it's from him that our village gets its name. We've been friends for many years now. Rorik fought for the Empire in the Great War. He was gravely wounded, and so was brought before me. I was a healer then, you see. We were as close as kinsmen, and when Rorik returned home, I came with him. I'm happy to spend my twilight years here with my good friend.
So we're just kind of
Secret? What makes
investigating
you
the
think there's a
different people
secret?
in this little town that we've come
There
across.
are no secrets here, my curious friend. Our prosperity is simply the result of hard work, good fortune, and the blessings of the gods.
I decided I wanted to stop listening, and then I wanted to talk to
have
this
news
guy
of our
here
quarry.
just in case he had more
It's none of your
information about the
concern.
Red Guard
All
woman.
you need to know, if that doesn't interest
Which
you,
he
feel
didn't.
free to walk away.
Peace. Secret? There are no secrets
And then I kind of
here,
decided
my
with this
curious
until
friend.
that one.
How can we?
And want to ask
We're
how
a
they protect
community of
themselves against
farmers, not
dragons.
fighting men. If not for the war, we might have enough guards in the hold to protect the settlements. That the dragons should return now is most unfortunate.
And that's pretty much all that guy could offer.
Do you have news
He's got
about
nothing
Clark?
else to say to us, so then we will go and I think look at staying the night to rest up, because there was no one else really to talk to other than
If you
the
need him,
tavern keeper.
I only take real coin here. No handouts and no bartering. Drink for the thirsty, food for the hungry.
So we were just seeing if we could sell anything, and I decided we do want to keep most of the ingredients and the food that we have, only because it does actually heal us, so we could just eat a whole heap of that when we're running out of potions, which I forget about.
Here, take a look at this.
And
Some of the Jarl's men
asking
came by
for
and
work.
left this bounty letter.
We actually get a bounty, so we got to kill the bandit
Have you
leader
heard about
located at
Adventus
Silent Moon's
Aretino?
camp.
He's a little boy, lives in Windhelm. They say he's been trying to get in touch with the Dark Brotherhood.
That's another thing that we can actually go and do
Good
there.
advice. Folks here don't care for magic or those that use it. If you're intent on it, check at the college up in Winterhold. Either that or go see the Jarl's court wizard. Sure
So
thing.
just rent
It's
the
yours
room
for a
there
day.
to rest up. So pretty much what
I'll
we
show
did,
you to your room.
we got the bounty
This
there
way.
for the Silent Moon camp's bandit leader, and we will do that in the next
Let me know
episode,
if there's anything else you need.
because it is close to Whiterun. So it'll become very handy to go do that, because we will go back and sell some of our items that we've picked up, so we don't, because we're coming really close to our weight limit for carrying items. Other than that, we're pretty much going to wrap up the episode in a minute, pretty much exactly a minute. So if you wouldn't mind, please like this video. It does really help out. If you enjoy it, please do that. I would appreciate it so much. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe so you can see more content coming your way, and I will fix up the audio issues that I had with the recording for the next one I do. So not the next episode I upload, but the one
You look
after
like
that
you've seen
when I
your share
record
of
again.
adventure. I envy you that. In fact, maybe you can help me with something.
And we'll just listen to this guy quickly.
I want to be an adventurer like you. My father says I can't. He says he needs me to stay here and work the farm. And even if he did let me be an adventurer, we couldn't afford to buy armor. His name is Mralki, and he's the innkeeper here. I hope you could change his mind.
So we will go and try and help
Thank
this
you.
guy out.
I can't stand the thought of being trapped in this village for the rest of my days.
And please comment in the comment section down below if there are any quests that you would like me to do in this adventure. Anyway, I'm gonna say that is all we are going to be doing today. Check out next week where we will do that bounty and also help the guy out that we just spoke to then. Anyway, that's it for today's adventure, guys, and I'll see you next time. Actually, more difficult than the games. At least from Revelation.